We are witnessing very exciting times, especially if you're holding XRP, XLM, Zebec, ZBCN, and then Algorand, and even Chainlink. We're going to talk about all these different projects in this video. There's so many headlines coming out. It's coming fast, and it feels like we're drinking out of a fire hose. So in this video, I'm going to do things a little bit differently than I typically will do. I'm going to burn through these headlines fairly quick, but no worries. All my research, as always, is down in my video description for you to go back and do your own research. So please use these links just in case I move too fast and you miss something. But let's go ahead and get into it, guys. The flow of the video will be Ripple XRP. We're going to move then to the Stellar XLM, the DTCC announcement. Then on the back half, we're going to follow up with the ZBCN, Zebec, working with Google. Big announcements, guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. The first one is going to come from Bank XRP. So check out your screen. Read along with me here. It says, Ripple just filed 2 new trademarks, Triskeleton and Wordmark, covering treasury ops, digital asset management, prime brokerage, hedge fund management, securities lending, financial clearinghouse services, and more. This isn't a startup move. This is full-scale financial institutional pay. And then from Pumpus, we get, sweet Jesus, Mother Mary of Bethlehem. The new Federal Reserve Chairman, Kevin Warsh, co-authored a paper naming XRP as a liquidity solution between stablecoins, exactly as leaked by BOJ insider Udo. You'll see right here it says any national currency could thus be convertible into any other national currency in 2 steps via the stablecoin. Such an arrangement would resemble the cross-border payment system that Ripple currently operates with its XRP currency. And it's just one of the variety of possible alternatives. And you can read further about that. But I want to check and make sure this is true. Did Kevin Warsh really co-author this paper? And what is this paper? I mean, we just see these clips and these headlines, but can we validate this stuff? And this is where we do our own research on this channel. And again, everything you see on my screen is down in the video description. So I went ahead and found this article that Pumpus is referring to. So check it out. This is the PDF. So this is the digital currencies, the US, China, and the world at a crossroads. You'll see that it is a publication of the Hoover Institution. If you run down over here, if I keep going, you'll see that on page 6, the contributors, you do have Kevin Warsh, which is now the new Fed chair. And then over here on page 121 or 150 out of 227 pages, if you want this PDF in the video description, you can see where that is referenced right here. So we do have a validated source that this is indeed a true story, that Kevin Warsh helped co-author this paper that is referencing XRP and digital currencies. This is a big story, guys. And then as we keep rolling here, this is going to come from Smoke. You might know him as Smoke Dog on X. Check out this, another big story, and of course it has to do with the DTCC and Ripple. They have been hand in hand for quite some time now, but check it out here from Smoke Dog. It says, Ripple hired the DTCC CEO who stabilized the 2008 crisis to prevent the next one. Donald Donahue previously served as CEO of the DTCC and led efforts to stabilize the financial systems during the 2008 crisis. During this time, he also worked directly with the U.S. Treasury on systems-wide security. Mr. Donahue was strategically hired by Ripple as an advisor. His experience navigating the 2008 crisis makes this hire notable because Ripple's technology has been defined as a solution to prevent similar financial collapse in the future. And this is no coincidence that this is happening. You're putting it all together. Ripple is very well positioned to help save us from this financial crisis that we're facing right now. Just in case you're not aware, governments around the world, their economies are collapsing, and America is no different. We are definitely experiencing that. We just haven't felt the full impact of it yet, but it is coming our way. Now let's keep going. This comes from Chart Nerd, and again, follows up with Ripple and RLUSD at this point. It says, Ripple's recent OCC/SEC stablecoin feedback is a big deal. If RLUSD is treated more like cash equivalent under bank-style rules, it strengthens the case for Ripple's banking charter application, where RLUSD would officially be stored directly at the Federal Reserve. Huge, guys, if this passes. Then from Bank XRP, we have another one following up about Ripple, which is just in, Ripple officially submitted a follow-up letter to the SEC Crypto Task Force on May 22nd, 2026. Here's what they're demanding. Stablecoins treated as proper collateral, RLUSD haircut reduced to 0. So haircut essentially means what the banks can actually hold onto the balance sheet. If they have 80 or if they have a 10% haircut, that means they only can claim 90% of those funds. And you can kind of see how that works in their favor. If they have a 0% haircut, that's more money they have control over and more they can claim they are overseeing, right? Then we have XRP on other non-securities get the same treatment as Bitcoin and Ethereum. On-chain registry designed as the only legal record. Ripple isn't asking anymore, they are telling. So just this first half alone, we're talking about Ripple, XRP, RLUSD. Are you seeing how big Ripple and XRP is going to be, even with RLUSD and the XRP ledger, etc.? They are so plugged into the financial system that they are slowly becoming the people that run it and control it. And you zoom out and you see what Ripple is doing and all the countries they are operating in. Everybody's saying, yes, this is going to be the new SWIFT system. It's, to me, they're going to enhance the SWIFT system and maybe generally take it over one day, but right now they're definitely enhancing it and they're putting all the pieces together. Ripple is becoming a conglomerate and somebody to watch. And as we're talking about how they're becoming a conglomerate, there's a story out there that Ripple may acquire Circle. So check this out. This comes out of Crypto Daily News. So check it out. It says, just in, Kenny Nguyen says Ripple acquired Circle. Circle is behind the second largest stablecoin in the world, which is USDC. If true, this could set Ripple and XRP to a whole new level. And for anybody that's paying attention and has been following Ripple for a while, there was a rumor a couple of years ago that they were going to buy out Circle, which never happened. The acquisition became too expensive. That has not happened. So that's a rumor that seems to be circulating again. Just be aware of some false information that comes out. I mean, could they do it one day? I mean, sure, it's possible. Anything's possible in this space. But at the time of this recording of this video, there's no true evidence to show that Ripple is going to acquire Circle. So just be aware of that rumor that's floating out there. Now let's move into the next one, which is the DTC working with Stellar. This is a big story that's just coming out. So let's go ahead and check it out. This is going to come from Stellar, their actual website. Check it out here. It says DTC's tokenization services to connect with Stellar public blockchain. If you read down here, it says a new connection between Stellar DTC and public blockchain. It says DTCC and Stellar Development Foundation have announced plans to enable the tokenization of DTC custodied assets on the Stellar network, a configurable open source blockchain used across securities, payments, and remittances applications. The collaboration is built on the SEC's no action letter that the DTC received in 2025. The letter authorizes the DTC to implement and operate services in that tokenization real-world DTC custodied assets. But with the roll down here, it says 4 outcomes for the market participations: faster settlements, greater asset mobility, extend trading hours, lower costs and risk. And you read down here, this is going to be from Nadine. She is the managing director of the global head of DTCC Digital Asset. It says Stellar's proven track record with institutional assets on chain is an important factor in our evolution of blockchain networks. It emphasizes on compliance, transactions throughput, and low cost operations, meets our rigorous standards, and will help ensure we are ready for growth as usage of blockchain networks for real-world asset transactions increases. So what's interesting about the DTCC working with Stellar XLM, this really shouldn't be any big surprise for anybody that's been following DTCC, Stellar XLM, even Ripple XRP. There's a I forget the word, it went blank. So there's a PDF going around from the DTCC. It's a patent. There you go. It's a patent from the DTCC that shows Stellar and XRP specifically for their patent. So now that they're announcing this, this shouldn't be any kind of big surprise for anybody that's been following this for quite some time. And you're seeing how strongly connected Ripple, XRP, Stellar, XLM is to the DTCC, which of course moves quadrillions of dollars. And as we're here, guys, if you guys could hit that like button, please. Viewership, of course, is down, and leaving a comment is always appreciated. And if you like this kind of reporting, just simple facts, no hopium, please consider hitting that subscribe button. We would love to have you a part of the channel. Additionally, if you're in the market for a cold wallet, you're looking to store your assets off exchanges, definitely check out my promo code here, which is DC10 on Tangem. You will save 10% if you're in the market for it. Just so you know, 100% of my affiliated proceeds goes to NAMI for the national health awareness. So if you are in the market, use DC10 for Tangent 10% off. It all goes for a good cause. So let's go ahead and get into the next story, which is going to come from Cointelegraph on May 26, 2026, and it has to do with Chainlink and Mastercard. So check it out here. It says, latest, Mastercard and Chainlink are expanding crypto access by enabling 3.5 billion cardholders to purchase digital assets directly on chain. Big move for the crypto space, of course, bringing awareness to mainstream. And this is going to come from All in Crypto on May 27, 2026. This is that bank we're talking about at the beginning of it. It says, world's first ever digital bank states Algorand and XLM as proven technology. VersaBank, the world's first digital branchless bank, successfully completed what it believes is the first ever tokenized deposit pilot by a bank using proven blockchains such as Algorand and Stellar.org. So that may not sound like a big deal for anybody that's kind of, oh, well, it's a new bank, who cares? The idea is they are proving that blockchain and crypto is actually something viable and we can actually use, because a lot of it is proof of concept still. But we're starting to see that being implemented in everyday use to show that it is possible. And as we're talking about Swift, we're also looking about they're just a messaging system, and everybody's looking at tokenized stocks and stable coins, but tokenized deposits is going to be where it's at for the institutional companies that need to actually move money around, right? So tokenized deposits will be huge, and VersaBank just proved it's possible with Algorand and XLM. So that's a huge moment in time, something to really be aware of and be proud of. Now let's move into the next half of it here. We're going to talk about the Google Zebec ZBCN situation, and then we're going to wrap it up with just where we are with the Clarity Act, what to expect here in June. So let's go ahead and get into it. This next post comes from Simon. He's with, of course, Zebec ZBCN. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we have productive day with the Google team. You'll see that here it's on May 26, 2026 from London. Then from here, this is going to be from ZBCN Legend. I don't know much about the person, but the post is accurate because this is something we've actually been diving into. So check out this PDF from him or this picture. It says Google Zebec, building the future of work, payments, and innovation. You'll see that Google brings world-class infrastructure, massive global reach, developer and business ecosystem, where you have Zebec Networks bringing real-time on-chain payments, financial infrastructure for the internet, empowering global talent. So why this is big, think about what Google offers. Google is offering the highway to access the products to purchase. So if you're looking at agentic payments, you're talking about AI payments, Google is going to be able to provide that highway, the rail, if you will. And Zebec is going to provide those payments to make that possible, because on today's payment system, you just can't do that. But moving into the future of what we're doing through agentic payments, AI payments, with Google and Zebec, that's going to be able to say, hey, I need you to order me this. It's automatically going to order it, do the payment, and be streamlined straight through without you going through all these different screens to buy it. And we're seeing that unfold now with Simon meeting with Google. This is a big move. We'll see what comes from these meetings. I think you'll hear more about this in the couple months to come. Now let's wrap it up, guys, with the Clarity Act to kind of get an idea of where we're at. So this is going to come from Alex Thorne. He is from Intangible Coins, and he breaks down the Clarity Act and what we're going to be looking at. And as you scroll through the post, he gives you a great timeline of what to expect. Now, this can change at any time here, guys. Keep that in mind, but let's take a look at what's going on here. It says, timing is tight. There are 9 weeks of the Senate floor between now and the August recess that begins August 10th. Historically, very little substantive legislation moves in the Congress after the August recess in a midterm election year. A plausible timeline may look like this, so may look like this, might look like this. Week 1, June, banking, agriculture reconciliation begins, completed the following week. Week of June 15th, Senate floor consideration begins. Week of June 22nd, Senate final passage. Week of July 13th, Senate House process. Week of July 20th or week of July 27th, House final passage of reconciled version. Then week of August 3rd, President signs clarity into law. Now, is this going to be the timeline for sure? Exactly. Who knows? Maybe not. But this is something that you can kind of get an idea how long this is going to take. So if you're excited for the Clarity Act still, just understand that we're looking at the soonest it can be even signed into law is August. So it's good to be aware of what's going on. If it gets, delayed or whatever, it's something to be on your radar. But I wouldn't put too much time into it yet until we hear these new announcements come out. Hopefully that gives you a better understanding of where we're at as far as the Clarity Act goes and the timeline you can expect. That's all I have for you guys in this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you found something informative. And again, if you did, please hit that like button. It's very much appreciated. And consider subscribing to the channel if you like this kind of reporting. Before I let you go, take care of yourself. Take care of the people around you. Become the change you want to see in the world. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'll catch you on the next one.